Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to my Zen Den. Happy Friday night. I am so very happy that you are here to join me. It's summer outside. Look, it's light. It's so exciting. The frogs are like starting to croak in the swamp. It's actually rained so much. We've never had this much rain. We've never had this much water in the swamp. It's actually coming kind of closer than I'd rather like, but what do? We've had a lot of rain this week. But we were blessed here at my house that we did not get like the super severe weather. We had storms come through, but nothing bad. We lost power for about 4.5, 5 hours last night, but no trees down. Nothing really hurt. So that is a good thing. Prayers to the people out of west of here that really got nailed. They're cleaning up. I think they're still out of power. Actually, there's quite a few people that are still out of power. So prayers to them. And so that being said, I did not prep last night for doing a Facebook Live. And so that's when I normally do it, is the night before. And so luckily there is a suite called He's All That in the new catalog, and it is phenomenal. And I have to tell you, He's the Man is the name of the suite. He's All That is the name of the stamp set. And you know, I tell people that I'm a lazy stamper. I like easy cards. I like stuff that coordinates really well together. I actually enjoy making masculine cards. This suite is so cool. And the only thing I can tell you better than making easy cards is making ridiculously easy cards. And this suite is the suite that you can make some ridiculously easy cards. So I am going to flip the camera around here and we will get started with some stamping. So hold on one second. Maybe. There's the button. There's the button. Yes, we played a lot of cards last night while the power was out, but that means there was no stamping. I could have stamped in the dark, I suppose, but it didn't come back on until, I want to say like 11:30 last night. I was asleep. I don't know. Whoops, wrong button. I hit the wrong little knobber thing. There we go. That's the one I want. Go up just a little bit higher. So let's see here. All right. So this is the page in the catalog. It's pages number 78 and 79. This is the He's the Man suite. So comes with, we'll start with the stamp set. It's got some great manly, masculine sentiments. Wishing you a happy Father's Day. Love this guy. Hello, handsome. To the man who does everything. Happy birthday to a classic. Together for the long haul. Every day with you is another adventure. And holy smokes, you're amazing. Really a cool stamp set. I love it. It's red rubber, which is awesome. I personally really like the red rubber, especially for ones like this, because it has got some really neat dies. And yeah, I've got them all here. The dies are especially neat because they don't necessarily have to go with these. There's a lot of really neat label dies, and they've got some really neat texture built into them. So they are a lot of fun. Like I will show you here, this one. It's got like a little, like, I don't know if you want to call it a lip, but it's got an indentation. It's got some texture built in. So it's really a neat die. And let's see here. The 4 label dies, all of them have that. So very neat dies. And then the paper. The paper's really cool. The paper is, it's a little bit different. Is actually considered, let's see here, it's specialty paper. So it's a little bit more, and it's $15 for the pack. But you will see why in just a minute. So really neat colors. It's got Sahara Sand, Early Espresso, Soft Succulent, Basic Black, Cajun Craze, and Crushed Curry. So really neat patterns. Great patterns for guys. Some cars and motorcycles on this one. Really just nice kind of textury backgrounds, ties, mustaches, kind of fun. Looks like a nice suit. This one, I don't know if you can see. There's actually like square patterns in it, like stitching. Very cool. This one is fun, kind of for the guy that likes to grill, maybe in your life. The hogs and the cattle and the barbecue and grilling kind of stuff. Like I said, some neat colors in the background. A camping one. So this is like every guy. This pack of paper will cover every guy in your life. Camping, campers, tents, bonfires, pine trees. Really cool paper, right? Plus, inside the paper pack are 2 sheets like this. And these are actually die cuts. Are they not? This is why I'm telling you, not just easy cards, ridiculously easy cards. So let me show you what I mean. And this one here, I am so excited to play with this one right here. I'll take it out because how cool is that? Isn't that neat? So when you look in the catalog and you see this card right here, that's made with almost all die cuts out of that sheet. There's a couple of die cuts out of the background, but it's made with this. I think that is just so cool. I was looking all over when the catalog came out. I was like, where is that die? I want that die. I want that. Look right there. It's in the sheet. So you get 2 sheets like that in each pack of paper. So I'm going to use this one right here that says, with you, I'm never lost. So let's take that out. It's already cut. It's already done. Kind of similar to how a paper pumpkin comes. But we're going to use that. Let's make a card quick with that piece. I've moved it around a little bit. It's starting to get loose. Okay, so I have got a piece of crumb cake cut at 4 1/4 by 11, scored in the middle at 5 1/2. So I'm just going to fold and burnish that. And this is like really for real the easiest card you will ever make in your life. So I've got the piece of designer series paper. This is the camping one. It's cut at 4 by 5 1/4. So it's just a nice panel. And what I'm going to do is fold that down. And I'm not going to get too specific with it. I'm going to fold it like right about in there. If you want to be specific, knock yourself out. This is how I roll. Easy, easy, easy cards, right? So let's put a little bit of adhesive on there. Especially when you want to show off both sides of your paper, this is a really cool fold. Let's make sure I got it opening the right way, because that would be bad if I didn't. So we're going to just push that down, and then I will put just a little smidge of adhesive right there and fold that over. So, and I like to leave it so it's got like a little bit of a bubble there. So it's a little bit of texture, personal preference. You don't have to do that. And I think what I'm going to do actually is attach it right here and put some dimensionals on that side. So let's pull in some dimensionals. Let's see. I'm cheating. Have you ever seen such a cheat in your life? I just didn't want to. I knew where I wanted it to be, but I didn't know where it would put it on there. So let's do that. Just like that. For real, easiest card ever, right? Let's put a few. This is also part of the suite, the rustic metallic dots. They're adhesive backed. I love them because they're not too flashy, but they do add just the perfect amount, especially for a masculine card. So I'm just going to put a few down in my campground area. Let's see, I don't like that one there. Move it over just a little bit. Okay, just like that. So if you want to finish it out, let's make this a Father's Day card. I'm going to take out the stamp that says, and these are very new, sorry, so it's very sticky. All right, let's find a block. Wishing you a happy Father's Day, because with you, I'm never lost. What a sweet sentiment, right? Does a card get any easier than that? I've got my early espresso ink right there, and I just inked this up, but I don't like this is the first time I've used this stamp, okay? And if you look, you can see that it's kind of bubbly. It's not sitting on that stamp really well. When I get new stamps, a lot of times I will stamp off, and then I'm going to like smush it into paper. And I've just got a piece of Post-it note there, and then I'm going to wash it off. And sometimes it seems like some sets are worse than others. they get like a film or something on them. So let's try it again. And I think you're going to see a difference. You can definitely see a difference. See how nice and even, or nice and like that is perfect there. So just going to stamp straight down and straight up. There you go. Wishing you a happy Father's Day. And that's stamped perfect. So you go ahead and use that tip. Sometimes when you get a red rubber stamp, and if the image doesn't seem like it's stamping quite right, smush it around. Slide it around. Get that film, that goofy film off of it. And it should help you out. So there's that tip. Okay, let's make one more card here. So this is card number 1. Ridiculously easy, ridiculously simple, and I absolutely love it. I love this set. Have I mentioned that I love this set? Okay, card number 2. Still, it's a little different, but it's still very simple. So I have got a panel of the Designer Series paper, and I've got it cut at 4 by 5 1/4, but I'm going to cut this a little bit, okay? So I'm just going to set that aside. I have got a scrap of Sahara sand, and I've got another panel of Sahara sand, and this is 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside. And then I've got a piece of early espresso, cut at 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored down the middle at 4 1/4. So we're going to fold and burnish that. All right. So I'm going to bring in my trimmer. Oh my word, my brain just totally went out of my head. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this, I think at about 3, let's go with 3 1/2. There's no exact science to this, and you're going to see why there's no exact science to this. I'm going to do it that way. I want more orange, but I want that orange up on the top. Okay, so what I'm going to do is attach that down to my card. I'm actually going to bring in another panel of the Sahara sand, and I'm going to show you why. I'm going to attach it like this and attach it like this, and then I'm going to wrap a ribbon around it. So let's do that. And I like this. This is another technique when you want to show off both sides of your paper, is to cut it in, like, cut that piece in half and just use both sides. And I really like, I am loving this paper, mostly maybe because my husband is into everything that's on it. I don't know, and my boys and my brothers, and to me, this is a very, very usable thing. It's got everything from wrenches to camping to beer. I mean, can we get past beer? So I'm going to pull in, this is the faux suede trim. It is not part of the suite, but it matches so very well. So I'm going to just run like a little strip of it just to give this a little bit more texture. So what I'm going to do, grab a snips and just snip off a little piece of it. And I am going to, that was actually a little on the long side. It could have been way shorter. And just put it on like this. And if you feel like you want to tie a bow, you go right ahead. I, like I said, like ridiculously easy cards. So, had a little thing there. Okay, so I'm going to attach this down to here. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, and there is part of our card front. Is that not, that is like so easy, so masculine. I so love it. Okay, now we are going to, I've got a scrap of, my brain is just not into this, I guess. Like, colors are not doing it for me. Whew. We've got a scrap of Sahara sand. And I'm going to bring back in my early espresso. And I'm going to use the stamp that says, "To the man who does everything." And I am so excited for you guys to look at this stamped image because it's really cool. I didn't notice it until I stamped when I was practicing. It's got little hammers and little wrenches. Isn't that that fun? I love it. I think it's so neat. All right, and so while I've got my ink out, I'm going to let that sit for just a minute so it dries. I'm going to use this stamp for the sentiment on the inside, but I don't necessarily want it to say "to a classic" because the front already says "to the man who does everything." So I don't want to put "to happy birthday to a classic." It seems kind of redundant to me. So I'm going to block that off. So I'm taking a Post-it note and I'm just kind of ripping it in half, and I am going to cover the part that says "to a classic," and then I'm ripping my Post-it note again because I can't use, it's a very small piece that says "to a." So let's cover that up. Make sure we're not covering the bottom of the car, but that we are covering the words, okay? So what I'm going to do is ink that up again really good, and then I'm going to take this part off, and now you can see I've masked off that. So now you can see that that doesn't have ink on it, just the car and the happy birthday. So stamp that down there, straight down, straight up. Perfect. Is that not the coolest thing? So fun. And so I think that matches really well actually with the cars on the paper. So now I am going to pull in, I'm going to use this die to cut that out, and then I'm going to use this die on a piece of early espresso. Or no, I'm not. I'm going to use it on crumb cake, I think. My word, it's so bad. Crushed curry. I'm going to use it on crushed curry. I really, really am. So I'm going to cut that one out on crushed curry as kind of a highlighting, and then this one I'm going to cut out here. But I want to show you something new. Something that just came back out in the catalog is a new and improved magnetic plate. And guys, let me tell you, it is phenomenal. So here's plate number 1, right, of our sandwich. Here is the magnetic plate. It is metal. It does not bend. It will not warp. We are so excited about it. I'm just going to show you the old magnetic plate, how it was before. It warped terribly. It was a great thought, but it warped so bad that it didn't work really well. This one is not going to warp. So to make our sandwich, I have to tell you that the directions that come with this plate, when you get it, they're not correct. So you need to use plate number 1 and then plate number 5. And then you can put your die right down on there, and it won't move. It's not going to, right? It's not going to move on you. Aha, so exciting. And then you put your top plate on, okay? Now, personally, I'm not going to do a lot of cutting, like on this one here that doesn't necessarily have to be in a specific spot. I'm going to cut that on a regular plate because I don't want to use this more than I really have to. I could actually, let's do that because, you know, make one less pass. But if you have a lot of things like this to cut, I would use just a regular plate and save this for when you are trying to cut in a specific spot. So let's go ahead and put that through our Cut and Emboss machine. And I will put a link to this magnetic cutting plate down in the comments. It is so cool. So look at that. It did not move. It's still there. I love it. I am so excited about that magnetic cutting plate. I believe $28, but it should last you quite a long time. So there we go. Just like that. Okay, so here we are. We're going to finish out our card. I am going to kind of layer it like that. And I'm going to, let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to do it right on there. And I'm going to bump this up because it's going to go over the top of that. So let's do that. And then I'll set it right over that suede trim. And I think these colors are so neat together. I just love them. And then we'll put that right like that. Okay, so a little bit of seal, and then drop that right down on there, just like that. Very nice. While I've got this out, I'm going to put a few of my brushed brass. I have got my son and 2 of the neighbor boys over at my house right now, standing outside giggling, if you can't hear them. I'm like a major movie star here, and they think I'm just the coolest. Oh, look it. You can see I am reusing a scrap for my panel. You would have never known that had I not flipped it over. So isn't that the coolest thing in the world? I just love it. You know what? I've got another scrap over here from when I was trimming. Let's go ahead and let's add a little something, huh? I don't like that because you can't necessarily see a card, but let's do a 1/2 inch. We'll put the strip at the bottom. Let's use up our scraps, right? I'll add just a little something. Just like that. Perfect. Okay. All right, there it is. There's the inside of our card. That is card number 2. Is that not the coolest thing ever? I'm loving it. So, and as I was practicing tonight, I did a couple other ones. I was going to show you this diagonal thing, and that didn't really. I ended up taking 2 pieces, and I thought, ugh, I don't think that I can. My mouth is not connecting to my brain tonight, so I don't think I can do that. But these are the cards. And so the happy birthday to a classic also, that looks really nice in that circle. You can see the nice texture on there. And then to the man who does everything. So those are just a couple examples. So those are my cards for tonight. Let me flip the camera back around and say goodbye. See if I can do this. I could do it. So I hope that that inspired you a little bit to check out that suite. If you are watching this on YouTube, I so appreciate you taking the time to watch it. If you're watching a replay on Facebook, thank you so much for taking the time to watch it as well. Have a fantastic weekend. If you are in Minnesota, happy fishing opener. Otherwise, I will see you again next week. Thank you. Bye-bye. I really like that suite too, Joanne. So cool. Have a good one. Bye-bye.